What's going on, YouTube? Gage from Outdoor Instincts Live, making a new channel, Aquarium Talk TV. I'm going to throw this video on Outdoor Instincts, so if you're watching it there, be sure to look for other stuff coming from Aquarium Talk TV. Today, I am in the home of Peter McHugh, host of the Pete McHugh Show on YouTube. We're going to go over his 10-gallon tank a little bit. He's having some detritus build up, some red slime, and what we think might be some phosphate issues. So I'm actually going to show you guys how to run a phosphate test. So what's going on, Pete?
Really, I've had these issues from the very beginning, but things are going well. This is the only, well, I shouldn't say that because I've had other issues, but these are the only issues that seem to be hanging with me. But other than that, I'm doing well. Life is good. The tank is looking nice, but the detritus and red slime and stuff like that have always been one of my Achilles heels with this tank. So, other than that, things are going well.
So let's, now I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit on, what the hell just happened? Did this just freeze? Ooh, that froze, sorry. Now I'm going to talk to you guys about what causes some of these issues and what we can do about it. So if you guys are having similar issues, this will be helpful to you as well, because we're going to cover that. As you can see right here, that's pretty much what detritus looks like. It's that brown sand. Sometimes it's right next to the A cans there. Sometimes it's just an off-colored brown. Sometimes it can be a yellowish. Like if you look back here, this is more yellowish tan. But that's detritus buildup. If it gets really bad, which this in this tank right now isn't that bad. It's just it can get out of hand quickly. If it gets really bad, however, it actually looks like a blanket. It'll actually cover the bottom of your tank. It makes a thick blanket. It's just nasty stuff. Back here in the corner, let me see if I can show you guys a picture. It's very faint. I don't know if you can see. If you see that big rock right there, you can see that little arm, almost looks like a tentacle moving around. That is red slime, and you can almost see the thickness of it back there. So, what causes this? Well, buildup of excess nutrients. You put food in. Fish don't eat some of the food, it floats to the bottom of the tank. If you don't have good water flow in certain areas of tanks, it become dead spots. And if you don't have a cleanup crew to get in there and eat the food that's left over, it breaks down and becomes this nasty detritus red slime. So say you have an excellent cleanup crew, say that you're not overfeeding, but you're getting red slime. Typically that can come from old bulbs, it can come from a lighting schedule that you got your lights on for over 8 hours a day. Some people run their tanks for like 12 hours, which I made the mistake of doing when I first started this hobby. And I had all sorts of, I never had red slime, but I did have a lot of algae, green algae. So if you are doing everything you're supposed to be doing, you still have red slime. If you have bulbs, check your bulbs, make sure they're not old. If you're using LED lights, if you're doing 8 hours a day, try 6. If 6 doesn't work, try 5. If you're having a really, really, really bad outbreak of it, do what's called a blackout, where you just cover your tank up, turn all your lights off, leave your filtration running, turn your flow. I think they tell you to turn your flow down, and just cover your tank right up. And this algae feeds off of light as well, so that should kill most of it. So now that you guys have a little brief history about what it is, what's caused by it, and what it can do, let's go and I'm going to show you how to do a phosphate test. Over here I've already got it set up for the most part. This is, where'd the box for this go? Hold on 1 second. I think this is by, it's by CChem. Oh, here it is. I want to show you guys what it looked like. The box. This is the phosphate test that I picked up. It's from CChem. So, and that's all it tests is phosphates. So, phosphates, well, what are they? Well, it's the same thing, like it's a breakdown of waste and things. That's what happens in an aquarium. But algae grows off of phosphate. Phosphate isn't toxic to fish and like invertebrates, but it's bad for your corals. So if you have a lot of corals in your tank and you have high phosphate, you're going to have a lot of algae, and it's bad for like the zooxanthellae and stuff that lives inside of the coral itself. That actually gives the coloration of the coral. So, yeah, so high phosphates are going to stunt coral growth. It's bad, and you get a lot of algae. So let's go over what this test kit does. It comes with 3 bottles. Number 1 is a phosphate 1 is what it's called. And then you have a phosphate 2, and then you have a reference test. Now the reference test if you get a reading that you think is inaccurate, then you take one of the reference tests, and instead of using aquarium water, you use the reference test, and then you add, I don't know why this is skipping so much, and then you add the phosphate, why is this skipping? Then you add the phosphate 1 and 2 to the reference test instead of using aquarium water. Well, today we've actually got aquarium water. So they provide you a little pipette. You fill the pipette up to the base, and then at the base of the bulb right there, and then you add it to here. So let's go ahead. I gotta set the phone down real quick while I unscrew these lids. Got a little stir and stick. This dang camera keeps freezing up on me for some reason. I don't know what the hell I did with my stirry stick. I guess it don't matter. I can use the pipette. For the money you pay for these kits, you think they would give you better equipment. But anyway. Okay. So you start with phosphate number 1, and you add 1 drop of this to your aquarium water. Boom. Okay. Then you go over to phosphate number 2, and you're going to add 2 drops of this. Boom, boom. Okay, they did provide you with the little swizzle stick thing, but I don't know where it went. And my video is freezing again. Okay, so now we stir it. Stir it up real good. It takes anywhere from 5 to 30 seconds. If you have a lot of nitrate, or excuse me, if you have a lot of phosphate, it may take up to 30 seconds. So we'll just give it a few seconds here, even though it changed rather quickly, just to be safe. While we're waiting for this, I just want to throw out there that if you have a lot of algae in your tank and you do a phosphate reading and it comes back like negative, it comes back saying you have low phosphates and your tank is good, blah, 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 blah. It's a lie because algae eats phosphate. So it's eating up the phosphate in the water column, so when you test your water, it gives you an inaccurate reading. Also, if your phosphates are really, really, really high, it's going to do the same thing. So now, once you do that, they give you a little color chart. Once again, I'm going to set down the phone real quick so we can compare the chart here, and I'll show you guys what it looks like. Well, I'm going to call that probably a 0.1. 1.5. Kind of hard to tell. Definitely not green, more yellowish. Alright. Well, I've determined that it is roughly this color, which this is saying a 0.1. So, realistically, he has low phosphates. So, that means that the red slime and the detritus buildup basically is just coming from too much stuff breaking down, too much food, that's excess food that's left in the bottom of the sand bed that's not getting eaten up, and it's breaking down and creating the detritus and the phosphate. So he has really low phosphates. He doesn't have a bunch of algae in his tank, so I know that's an accurate reading. So now our next step is to just get a cleanup crew to get rid of the detritus and the red slime, and if that doesn't work, we're going to try a blackout. So hopefully this helped. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Thanks.